Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Pledge of allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Packed house. Look around, we might get hit in the back of the head.
I'd like to welcome everybody to tonight's city council meeting. Glad you could make it. I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as printed.
I'll move.
Second, please. Been moved and seconded to approve the agenda as printed. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion to approve minutes from last meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes from last meeting?
Second.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded to approve the minutes from last meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Approve payroll. Chris, here's my payroll, approved. Francis has no bills to be paid, correct?
No, so I don't have to pay myself. You know.
Old business, CDBG, project update, Chris.
Well, the first thing that you guys will see here is the generator bids. And we got 3 of them. Let's see, first one was 38,750, but that didn't include freight. And these are generic bids. I talked to these people, and so I told them that we would talk about it, and then I would have Mark call them back and tell them what we actually need, because I'm not an electrician. Second one's 53.5, and the third one's 43. Something, I don't remember exactly what it was. 43.5. That one included freight, so I don't know. The 38.5, I don't know how much freight would be. Can't imagine it would be $5,000. But, I mean, they're roughly, right around that $40,000 mark. Other than that.
And
Yeah.
these are stationary, correct?
Yes,
Yes, that they have to be.
they are stationary. They're, basically what I told them was we need a stationary, 175 kW,
Self-contained.
self-contained, yeah, so that we don't have to build anything on top of them to keep them from the elements. They all have a 24-hour, they call it fuel tank, so however big the fuel tank is for it to run for 24 hours. So, this is just something for you guys to look at. We don't need to make a decision on this right now, I don't think.
400 gallons.
Is that what it is?
Are they all,
Yep.
are they all 400?
I just seen it
gallon?
on one here, so
Yeah, I
I
saw that
suspect it's
one
probably pretty
too.
close to 12 of them.
I would guess that they would all be close to that, but, at least they'll run for 24 hours. This one's 375, so it's pretty close.
Yeah, I would suggest council look these over real close, and if you see anything that needs to be added, deleted, get back with Chris so that we can make a decision here on this as soon as possible.
Well, I think that would be more Mark more than us, because
Well,
we're not
he'll-
electrical engineers or anything. know
no,
much
he'll
about
need to
it.
come back and make us a recommendation.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't think we have
Deadline?
a brand that we really want to go with, I think this is more for just a cost. I think we should really check on this 38,750 and see what the freight would include. And, if it's less than the 43.5 with freight, then I'd say that's pretty close to the one we're
Yeah,
gonna
just
do.
according to this, that's a
200 kW.
2 kW, 200 kW.
Oh,
Which one is
Yeah,
it, the
the
43,
first, the 38.
the 38?
38,750 is.
INS. The other one was only one, I seen one that was 175.
Look up top there, up above where it says 200 KW, it says 175 KW. Fall Lake 175 KW. Don't know why they did that. That could be
Yeah,
good
just
for
might be
us.
that part, that break there that they just,
They had it set now.
could very be.
That could be. So, that's that. Joe Ruschenberg sent up an email today. He said he didn't know if we were gonna have a meeting tonight, but he wanted to give an update. He got contracts out to Dave on Thursday. He emailed the DNR and they said they received everything and it normally takes 30 to 60 days to get the construction permit. So he sent me an email that Jennifer Bunton sent him. She thought we'd have it by the 1st of April, which should be early enough for us to get going. The railroad permit was mailed to the incorrect address but forwarded to the correct address. They got it on the 22nd of January and it takes 35 days to get the permit, which would be about,
March 1.
yeah, about the end of this month or the 1st of March, so we should be in good shape as far as permits go, depending on weather. Dave King and I talked and, he thought that he had to finish a little bit up here on our Schrader's project before he could start anything else. And he thought that he would go to Jefferson first, before he came back here and started our project. But he said one of the reasons why he was as low as he was on the bid was because he didn't have to have it done until September 30th, so. He didn't think it would take that long. But he didn't want to give me a date either, so. So that's all I've got on CDBG project update. If you guys have any questions?
Questions, concerns? Council?
Can you, give me some copies of these bids, Jen?
I got one
Okay, I'll side by side them and see if there's any differences there.
And Mark's gone for about 10 days. He's gone all next week, and then he's gone a couple of days the week after that. And that's when he's gonna go to Rochester to find out how the chemo's been working.
I was gonna say, Rick told me 2 weeks for sure.
He's out in California right now, visiting an aunt. So that's what he's doing right now, and then when he gets back, he's going to Rochester, so.
Okay. No other questions? We'll move on. Any other questions, discussion? Okay, we'll go into new business. Clerk's report.
Okay, you guys want to start on that first page there, page 10. And that just shows you how we get from last month's balance to this month's balance, and I can see that I didn't change the dates. That bottom date should actually say 12/31, or actually it should say 1/31. The transfers from checking, that 198,000, it's actually transfers to checking. That's 110,000 for the first Galverson Smith bill, 42,600 for the second Galverson Smith bill, and then 45,000 for the Corn Belt lots make up that 198,000. Next page, you see all of the accounts on here are reconciled. One that we just got done talking about, the park fund at 130,000. We paid roughly $12,000 worth of bills out of that last month. So that went from 140 down to 130,000. And I think that there's some money that they haven't received yet. Obviously, the 25,000 that the city said that we would give, they haven't received. look at the bond payment fund down below, that used to be $750,000 and now it's $625,000. We've taken that $150,000 from, to pay for Goverson Smith's. You guys have any questions on any of that there? You guys notice the wellness center checking, that's up around $12,000. We need to probably move some of that money into the savings account. No questions, you can move on. Go to page 13. You'll see two pretty large numbers on there, about a quarter of the way down and then about 3/4 of the way down. You'll see 136,000, that's park donations that we received last month. Hopefully that number continues to grow. And then about 3/4 of the way down there, you'll see GO bond proceeds, 508,000, that's what we bonded. And that's for the Schrader's 3rd edition project. Nothing really out of the ordinary there. Got our taxes in. You can see we got $1,000 for our wellness center. People really like to use that when it's cold out. Not sure why they like to use it, but they do.
Understandably.
You know, because you go walking, don't you? Next page, page 14, that's first page of our general fund expenses, and there's really not much for expenses on there. Our snow removal's been going up a little bit. All of these little 2-inch snows, the guys have to go out early in the morning to get that done, and generally it happens on Wednesday, so they have to do that before they pick up garbage. So, they're getting some overtime. Next page. You can see the library's on there, the park's on there, the pool. Not a lot going on in any of those.
Stop Chris at any time if you've got questions, guys.
Okay, the next page, you'll see the urban renewal expense. This is where all of our expenses for Schrader's 3rd edition are gonna go. There's quite a bit in there. Usually we have about $20,000 to $30,000 worth of expense through that, and now it's up to $200,000. It's gonna keep growing. Go below that, you see that negative, just about $15,000 on legal fees. That was, Dorsey and Whitney and Allers and Cooney. A lot of it was for Schrader's 3rd edition, some of it was for TIF,
TIF, yeah.
the planning process. So that all moved over to TIF and urban renewal expense. Road use fund, nothing out of the ordinary there. Expenses look pretty good. Wish we could do that in all of our funds. So TIF, you see some expenses there. That's $45,000 for the lots that we paid to Corn Belt. And then, a little over $10,000 for legal fees for Dorsey and Whitney to write our bond, and for Allers and Cooney to write our planning process for our TIF program, our commercial TIF. And then up above, we received the $50,000 in that we transferred over from the electric fund. Debt service, it's just normal. Then we get down into our utility funds, and first thing I noticed there is our electric funds, $147,000. That is because we only had one bill last month, because we only had one council meeting, so that's gonna even out next month in February, so we'll have probably $75,000 worth of electric expenses, just electric purchases next month, so that'll really even out. Our sewer still isn't looking very good, that probably won't recover this year.
Natural gas looks good though.
Yeah, natural gas is gonna continue to look good, I mean, we're, obviously when it's this cold, you're gonna sell an awful lot of it, so. So then go to page 21, you can see our electric fund, you can see that we only had $19,000 worth of electric purchases, and in the winter months, we always have at least $40,000 to $50,000 worth of purchases, so that's gonna catch up next month, and we're gonna have a negative.
Yeah, so you're saying on that 147 that we had up above there on page 20, there may be another 40 out of that? That we didn't get in electrical purchases?
I wouldn't say 40, probably
Probably another
25 to
25.
25 to 40,000, yeah. Oh, I see. I was looking at that, now, look at this page here, there's 97,781 on there, and I guess what I did was I didn't have the transfer, the $50,000 transfer out of there on that first page, so. That's not something that we do every month though, so that won't show up again. So then go on to the natural gas fund on page 22, and you can see our revenue's 120,000. That's just a lot of carryover from December, really. A lot of people didn't pay their bill at the end of December, they paid it at the beginning of January, so we got a huge amount of revenue. And then one thing that we've talked about several times, and Ray used to bring this up all the time, and I just would sit there and think to myself, you know, we're billing it right. I don't know, and it didn't look right to me either that, you know, we're not making 30 cents on everything that we sell. So it just popped into my head one day that, you know, most of the gas that we sell is to Western Iowa Energy. And most of their gas, we make 6 to 7 cents per therm on. So that would, I mean, that right there
Offset it.
tells you the whole reason why we don't, it doesn't look like in here that we make 30 cents per therm. Everything that we sell in town, we make 30 cents a therm on. That just is, you know, is just so much less volume than what we sell to WIU.
Is CPS out south, they still dragging their feet on natural gas?
We talk about it every once in a while. One thing that we need to talk about as a group is we charge Hallett's for demand. I think we need to charge some other
Entities?
some other large customers for demand. And, you know, there's only about 4 or 5 of them that really use a lot of electricity that we need to charge for demand. And CPS is one of them. They only do it for, you know, probably 3 or 4 months out of the year. But that really counts against us for the rest of the year, so.
Is there a peak demand? Is that during the winter months because of the electric heat?
The
Which is,
whole town's peak demand is during the winter.
right, which is actually good for us because we get charged demand at about $8.80 in the wintertime and about $16 or $18 in the summertime.
Mhm.
So that really is a good thing for us. But if we do go ahead with this demand cost like we've talked about, then that would probably change or help CPS make their mind up a lot faster because that'll add a couple $1,000 a month to their bill, so. We just have to do a little research on it. So, natural gas, water. We had our leak guy come in again today and check out our leaks. We went from about 80,000 gallon a day that we were losing down to about 45, and now we're back up to around 55. So We don't know exactly what's going on there yet. He found one, that we need to get dug up, but he told us the other day he was in Esterville, and, they had to use a jackhammer to get through 5 feet of frost, so we're gonna wait until, the frost comes out, because we don't wanna mess around with that. And hopefully that one leak that he found will fix it, and we'll get down to, we won't get down to 0. I don't think we can get to 0,
Never go down that way.
but we'll get a lot closer. And our sewer, like I said, that's probably not gonna recover. I mean, we've got $40,000 worth of expenses in there that we don't ever have. So, that's the reason why that one's backwards. And our garbage fund, and I tried to do something, just the other day, I tried to look at our monthly garbage, revenues, and it was always right around, 5,000. And, then the last couple of months, it went from like 4,500 to 6,500 down to 6,000, and now it's about 5,400, but, I mean, we raised our rates, so we're gonna start recuperating some of this here, so. That's all I've got on the clerk's report. If anybody's got any questions for me.
Questions, discussion?
I'd make a motion, we approve the clerk's report.
Second?
And second.
Been moved and seconded to accept the clerk's report. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Clerk's report has been approved. Approve the council appointments by myself. The changes that we're gonna make will be in the resolutions that are coming forth. Since Ray is no longer on council, of course, he's gonna be replaced. And Chris and I have had really some extensive talks, I think, haven't we, Chris? And what our decision has been come to right now is I'd like to appoint Gary Faber and Ron as backup at this point in time until we get maybe an electrician hired. And then we would see whether we're gonna put Ron as the first or leave Gary as the first, and we'll put our electrician as the backup alternate. So, and the only other change it might possibly be, and I've gotta talk to Donna all day, I gotta get a chance to yet, is she might wanna be off the pool committee, and that's the only other change that I would have. Otherwise, everybody else is gonna stay the same. Rob, you're gonna stay mayor pro tem. So, I have no other changes other than the two, and we will have that resolution, coming up, so. You got anything else you wanna add to that, Chris?
Well, I think all, when we get down to the resolution, I think we should talk to Ron and see if he's gonna have the time to do that. And it's not like.
How much time's it take?
Well, the meetings are,
Once every 3 months, ain't it?
no, they're once a month, but they're, about 8 hours out in Nebraska. So you drive out there one day, you have a meeting the next day, and then leave about noon that day.
Ray never attended every meeting.
No, he didn't attend every meeting, and Ron's gonna be the alternate
Right.
if that's what he wants to do. So Gary would be the one going out most of the time, and if
Right.
they wanted to, they could go together.
We'll both go together as far as I'm concerned. In fact, that would probably be better.
Probably wouldn't hurt to go together a couple times this
Oh, Lord.
Well, I got an off and on switch.
Oh, boy.
So we'll talk about that when we get down to the resolution, so we don't have to do anything tonight on it.
If you have any questions for me,
I don't have any problem with it, it's just that, so I know ahead of time.
Yeah,
discuss approved Doc's Place liquor license.
I move we approve Doc's liquor license.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded to accept Doc's liquor license. Is that a permit? Yeah.
no, just look at us.
Just a liquor license?
License.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Resolution 2014-5, that's the one for the means for the electric.
This is the one that appoints, the person to the management committee and the board of directors. This is the main guy, this is what Ray used to do, so.
This is for the city of Wall Lake.
And this is Gary, and I've talked to Gary and he is willing to do this, so.
I'd make a motion, we approve resolution 2014-05.
One second.
Been moved and seconded to accept resolution 2014-5, which is Gary Faber, will be our director. I need a roll call vote. Rob?
Yes.
Francis?
Yes.
Ron?
Yes.
Motion approved. Resolution 2014-06, this is the alternate, which Ron said that he would accept.
I'd make a motion to approve resolution 2014-06.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to accept resolution 2014-06, which is appointing Ron Lahr as my alternate to the board of directors for the Mean Management Committee. Roll call vote. Rob?
Yes.
Francis?
Yes.
Ron?
Yes.
Okay. Building permit, is it in here,
Yeah.
Chris?
Yeah,
I haven't seen it yet.
yeah, this is for, 310 Center Street.
Remove house.
Yeah, they're gonna take the house out.
Right.
Brad Ashinger, Mary actually bought the house next to her shop, Mary Ashinger.
Oh, okay, now I know you're at.
And, no, not the house they just bought.
I was gonna say,
They're not gonna tear that one down. That one's in pretty good shape.
Not yet.
that's the gray one that sits on this
Right.
Blue.
On the corner.
Blue one.
blue, or, yeah, whatever you wanna call it.
So they're gonna take it down, you know, as soon as the weather allows them. And all we have to do, we've got all the utilities disconnected, all we have to do is take the wires, the electric wires off the house, so.
I did have Brad and Brian Schmidt in place at the same time too, and talking to them about possibility of getting the sewer corrected underneath there too, and if and when they're taking it.
I got that bid too.
Ah, what a good idea.
We're gonna talk about it tonight, and you guys aren't gonna do anything about it.
I'd make a motion, we approve the building permit for Brad Ashinger.
Second,
Second that.
been moved and seconded to accept the building permit for the tear down at 310 Center Street. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Now you wanna go into that discussion with that or not, because we're at that,
No, I wanna do that in the public forum.
okay? Fiscal year budget, library and fire department, which we decided that we're not gonna give it anything, that there's gonna be zero to budget.
As long as we get the same at least.
Okay, who gets to start first?
I think, let me start, you guys have the budget right there in front of you. And you can see that in fiscal year 2014, we gave the library $18,035, and now they're asking for $18,638, so basically a $600 increase, which I don't think is too bad. And I guess, you know, we really don't need the library board here for that. You guys can approve that or disapprove it, whichever you like, but the reason why the library board is here is because the other day they came in and talked to me about the budget, and they gave me this sheet, and I brought up a furnace in the basement of the library, and it went out, I don't know, a month ago or whatever it was. It completely quit working, and so we got a new one put in there. I asked the question, who should pay for it, and you know, I shouldn't have asked that question. The city's always paid for everything, and so we've got some people here who aren't very happy with me right now. So I guess we should let them talk,
Go.
and then we should
Yeah, we're not,
make
you
a
know,
decision.
we're not upset at all with Chris. We came for clarification, is what we needed to do, because we were just kind of shocked when that question was approached, that, you know, how you gonna pay for that, and we hadn't really thought about anything like that, because normally the capital improvement to a city building is usually the city's, is what we were thinking. And, so, you know, we had talked then maybe writing a grant or two, which shouldn't say or two, but writing a grant. And Chris has already kind of started that, he said, and we try to get an INS $1,500 grant. And I guess, we were just hoping that the city would still approve and pay for that furnace instead of taking it out of the now account that we have money in there, which we're hoping to be able to use for special things that we've used throughout the years. And Jody did compile a list of all the money that we've spent out of that now account and why we would like to keep that money where it is right now for special items, not for the furnace that we feel is more of a city responsibility.
Well, I guess my question was be, how much money do you keep in that now account?
I couldn't tell you what that balance is. That's whatever. Is it
I mean,
11,000 or
is it-
something, Chris?
Always $20,000
Yeah, it's
or
on
something?
others.
No, and this is kind of, we wanted to share with you guys what we've done with the now account throughout the years, and, what we're, I guess I can walk through.
10,500 right now.
She's coming back. I was just gonna pass it around.
This goes from 1998, and if you really want to take a look, we've done since 2012, when we fixed the library basement, what that expense was, and we've never come and asked the city for any help on any of these things. Jody's been great in writing grants, and then we get the grant money, then we'll match it or probably come up with some more. As you can see, the library basement, that was $8,400 we took out. Then the other big line item would have been the bathroom that definitely needed to be repaired. That was a $6,500, plus we got grant from the city money and the INS for that. I'll just let you review that if you have some questions. So, that money, is primarily where we're getting that money is from Wilma Gosh. She has set up a fund that we get this money from her. And thank God for Wilma, because if we wouldn't have her money coming in, this would have been depleted and we'd have been at your mercy for more things, or the library in itself would have probably deteriorated a lot. So we've been able to keep the library building, the city building, in good state of repair because of those monies that we get, and I think we use them always for good purposes, so.
Is the Willagash Trust, is that just, is it basically what you receive about the same every year?
No, if we have a special project, then I contact Pastor Carlisle and just tell him, what our project is, and then he has me sometimes write up just a little letter telling, what our next project is, and the SCTD grant is usually a 50% match, and then we tell him kind of what our 50%, expected expenses are, and usually he's, very generous helping us meet that.
Yeah, I understand,
Yeah.
I think it's a great thing,
Yeah.
there's 13 different entities that receive
Yeah.
monies from the Willagash Trust, and some of them are very large sums, and for large projects that need to be done, and that's great. I'm just wondering if, this is something
Well, our
that
next
could be
project
included
was-
in that somewhere.
Our next project, we've kind of talked over the years, our carpet on the main floor of the library is 30 years old, or about. And the SCTD won't pay for carpet if it's just a carpeting project, but if it's part of a remodeling project, which we've talked about doing the front desk area, front entryway, and then, you'd have to replace carpet, and, so we've kind of been holding off and letting our account build up a little bit again, so we'd be able to make that 50% match.
I was gonna say, you take that from if you get the SETD grant, then you take from the Wilma Gosh to make that your
To match it.
Your 50%
Yeah.
match? Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
In the last 3 years, we've had to take out, we have a Atrium system, which is our automation system, and it's hosted off-site. It costs us about $1,000 a year to have them hosted for us, because, they have all the technology and they just take care of it for us. And we haven't been able to get that out of our account or our budget, because we've been kind of running over budget a little bit sometimes, so we just started taking it out of the Willagash money also, so.
What is the furnace fix-up? What is that gonna cost?
It's $5,800.
Is that natural gas or is that electric? Natural gas? Yeah. So Is that what was in it now? I forgot. And the furnace,
Yeah, everything that we have.
the furnace just. that
I think
old.
it was the original furnace is what Mark told me.
Oh,
So from
Christopher
like-
Columbus brought it over.
Yeah, from 1960, when the building was built, he said it had never been replaced. I think we replaced the other one for the upstairs several years ago, but this one for the basement had never been replaced since the building was built.
Questions, council?
No, I'm just asking questions, I'm not trying to put pressure on you or anything, I'm just asking questions because I know that I've been involved with those monies at our church,
Mhm.
and I know that the community building was involved with those monies, and, I just know that it's always been a good deal for a lot of different things, and,
If there's
guess we-
special projects and you ask,
and
you know,
I'm,
they always take that into consideration.
Motion on
and I guess my question was just, did we check into
Well,
that?
I'd make a motion, we approve the Wallach Library's 2014, 2015 budget, and also take care of the furnaces.
that? Second?
I'd second that motion.
Been moved and seconded to approve the 2015 library budget for the city of Wall Lake. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Now,
you.
do you want him up in front of a firing squad, or how do you want to handle it? Fire department, Franny, is that you?
I guess it could be. Everybody's got the budget in front of you, I think it's went up, what,
No,
5,000?
actually it went down.
Right, down, excuse me, that's right, I'm
The
sorry.
last 2 years it's
Yeah.
gone down, Franny, not a lot, but it's gone down, so. Oh, the total budget. Yeah, the total budget's gone down about $5,000. Our portion of it's gone down.
Questions for Francis on the fire department budget? If not, I'd entertain a motion.
I'd like to make that motion. Accept the-
Second?
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded to accept the 2015 Wall Lake Fire Department budget. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Okay. Discuss Wall Lake Endowment Bank account.
Yeah, we talked about this quite a while back. Don Potoff came and asked if we could start an endowment.
Oh,
It was another one of the things that
Yeah.
was in the questionnaire and one of the things that people thought we should do. And then
Is that part of that audit too?
we said that we would do it.
Yeah, it's part
And
of
then
the,
we found out that we owned 100 shares of principal stock, and then the auditor said, you guys can't do that, that's illegal for a city to do, so we sold those shares, and we have a check right now for $4,800. I talked to Dawn, and we can't actually start an endowment fund unless we have $10,000. But
That's a minimum.
we wanna get this check, along with the $114.53 to get it to $5,000. We wanna get that in a bank account. My question is, where do we do it? Do we do it at Bank Midwest, or do we do it at Westside?
I don't think we've started anything new at Bank Midwest for a while, maybe it's time to go back there for something, isn't it? The
Yeah,
last couple things we've done have been in West Side Bank.
We haven't started anything at Bank Midwest, I don't think, for a while.
I'd like to do it there.
You know, gay up top of your head.
So we want to start it there, okay, then, that's really easy, I mean, we've already approved, putting the $4,885 in an account, and we've already approved putting the extra $114.53 with it to make it $5,000, so all I have to do is go to Bank Midwest. I think you guys should put that in the form of a motion though, Rob.
Well, what was that, about $10,000?
That's what we have to have for a minimum to open up an endowment fund. And that's to start our own fund. We don't have to go under SAC. We can have that $10,000, if I'm correct, as the city, that will be the city's endowment.
Yeah, but don't bring SAC into it at all, because I think that'll confuse people, that,
Yes.
this is just, yeah, this just is the
City
city's.
of Wall Lake,
This is gonna be probably called the City of Wall Lake Endowment Fund.
Yep. that's what it'll be called.
And then,
But we have to have $10,000 minimum, so we'll have to go out and see if we can get donations or what
We'll have
have
to give
you,
donations for the $5,000.
to get it back up to get it to the 10,000,
To get it started. We can still put the 5,000 in an account and just leave it there.
right?
Yeah, but I'm just wondering if we should go to 10,000, and the way we get there is, and I might get in trouble with this with my boards, but maybe do $2,500 out of the community center account upstairs and $2,500 out of the fitness
For the
account.
center. Unless you wanted to go,
It's not a bad idea.
unless you
I
wanted
mean,
to
those
go.
two need to have some funds transferred out of,
Oh,
to
okay,
go to the savings anyway. Well, you know, the bylaws of those things say we need to contribute to some things also, so.
And actually, Rob, the community center gave us a check for $4,000 just between last month and now. So that actually has transferred already. So that 13,000 that you saw in there is not actually 13,000. But the wellness center, you
That's
know,
good.
it's got about $7,000 that could transfer into the savings account, so we can take it all from there if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's all gonna end up in the same
It's
thing.
gotta go, it's gotta, yeah. it's
Yeah,
gotta go
so-
somewhere anyway.
I'm going to the city anyway, regardless one way or the other.
but do you have to have
Just move it
approval from
around.
your committees before you can do that?
No, the final approval comes from the city council.
Okay, that's what I was asking, I didn't
No.
know. Okay, I would entertain a motion for that.
I would make a motion that we, however we say this, we apply this check plus the, what is it,
$14.
$114.53,
Plus 2,500 from,
well, plus $5,000 out of the fitness account.
Yeah.
is that where you're?
Actually, let's just do $5,114.53 out of the fitness account.
There you go.
Second?
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded, and we're gonna open up a endowment fund for the city of Wall Lake, and we're gonna transfer funds from the fitness center for the amount said,
51-14-53.
okay? And that will be deposited into Bank Midwest.
Yep, I'll do that as soon as I can this week.
And then I think we should have a picture in the paper, saying that we started an endowment account for the city of Wall Lake.
Linda, can you take care of that for me? Marilyn? I want a roll call vote on that one, though. Rob?
Who seconded it?
Ron?
Ron?
Oh, I thought Ron did.
Randy
Franny did?
It's not fighting.
Yeah.
Ron,
Ron didn't.
Rob?
Yes.
Francis?
Yes.
Ron?
Yes.
Motion passed. I got another letter today too, Chris, I was gonna tell you, and I didn't get a chance to forward it on to you. From Ray Beckman on a means board deal, and I haven't even opened it myself.
it might be this one here, Steve.
Did he forward it on to you?
I get all those emails too, so.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
I didn't know if I had to forward those on to you, or,
but it doesn't hurt.
okay.
So, let's see. Back in August of 2013, we got this letter telling us that we were gonna have our electric rates raised. And it was, if you look at page 55, you can see what our rates are gonna be now. The demand was gonna go from, and I don't know the exact numbers, but it was gonna go from somewhere around $8 up to $8.81, and somewhere around $15 up to $16.01 for demand. Well, then I get this letter and I start reading it and it says, oh, we made a mistake, we made a typo. And it just so happens that the typo was in the dollar amounts that we were supposed to be charged. So actually, we're supposed to be, instead of $8.81 for the winter season, we're gonna be charged $9.94 per kilowatt of demand. And in the summer season, it's gonna be $18.06 instead of $16.01. So, and our energy costs have gone up also.
With the old figures, we said we were gonna, that would raise our electricity probably, what, 1 to 2%, right?
It was,
Is that what
It's-
we figured?
it's tough to say, it would be about $15,000 with the old figures. And then I did some calculating. I don't have it in here, I guess, but I did some calculating, and it was, with these figures, it'll raise it another roughly $12,000.
On top of 15?
On top of the 15, right. So it'll be, $25,000 roughly. So, I mean, our electric account runs anywhere between $70,000 and $100,000 a year that we make, after we pay our bonds. So we can actually absorb this $25,000. But the question becomes, how many of them do we wanna absorb?
Well, yeah, we're looking at wanting to upgrade our electrical system, and
Right.
and hopefully we can do some recap after that, but if we start, absorbing all these increases, it's gonna hurt us on the backside.
It's
so.
gonna be shortfall.
And then, nobody wants their electric rates increased, but one of the ways that we can do this is through the demand rate that we charge to businesses. And, an argument for that is everybody around us does it. And frankly, I've been called crazy a couple of times because we don't do it. I think that's really the first thing that we need to look at. I feel like our residential rates are, about right on with where they need to be. And I can't tell you exactly what we will recoup with the demand charge to the businesses. But I can tell you that Hallett's is gonna be, I'd say Hallett's demand next year would be probably $35,000 to $40,000 just in demand. It doesn't count their usage. So, that'll be an increase of somewhere around $15,000 or $20,000 for us, so that'll help.
Plus CPS.
Yeah, we're doing that right now, every month. Every month we put another figure into the computer so we know where they're at. We just can't do it, we can't do it all yesterday because it takes a whole month to figure the demand, so. This spring we'll know a lot more.
I was gonna say, when do you want council to look at the
Well, I think it's gotta be in the spring because the demand right now that we're using, Coster Grain's gonna be another one, but we can't do anything with them because they don't, their big one is in the fall.
November, October,
Right.
yeah.
October, November, when they're really pushing the grain. So we won't know what it'll do to their bills or, for our revenue. But we'll know the other ones.
We should do
pretty
something
good.
by like July though, shouldn't we?
Yeah, we should be able to do something by June, depending on how long it stays cold, you just never know.
Yeah.
We've got a pretty good idea right now, but, 2 months isn't enough to do anything with, I don't think, so.
Well, we'll table this, or do you need any kind of a motion?
No motion here, just, I want you guys to know this.
We're just gonna get the increase and there's nothing we can do about it.
No, there's nothing we can do about this, we're gonna get the increase and.
We're hung.
Pass it on.
I mean, we could pass it on, sure. I don't know if we need to do that right now.
And I don't think we all need to try to do it all on demand either. I think we need to, sooner or later, everybody's going to start in on it, rest we'll start slow and just keep.
I don't disagree with that either, Franny. One thing that we do need to do, I think we can do this right now, not right now. I think we can do this at the next meeting. Right now, our ordinance says that we'll charge demand and we'll charge $8 per kilowatt. Well, that was done, a couple of years ago when we were getting charged less than $8. Right now, we're getting charged $10 for winter, and $18 for summer. I think we need to make that
Ordinance.
say we'll charge for demand what we're getting charged for demand at whether it's the winter season or the summer season. I don't think that's anything.
So is the demand charge different for Mean than it is for Wappa?
Yeah,
mean,
And I can't tell you exactly what that is.
how do we get most of our electricity from Alpha?
We get 65% roughly from WAPA. So that's why when I say, you know, our increase is gonna be 1 to 2%, it's hard to say that. Because you just don't know how much you're gonna get from WAPA and how much you're gonna get
Sure.
from me. WAPA gives us a
Well, we
certain
know how
amount.
much we're gonna get from WAPA,
Right,
but we're gonna fulfill that 65%.
right, yeah,
all
all
the
the
time.
time, yeah,
So we know what that's gonna be.
yeah,
We just don't know what we've gotta fill in with this.
right. And this is the one that costs us the most. I think our electricity from WAPA costs us 2 cents maybe, you know, 1.5 to 2 cents.
What is that contract up, you know?
Pretty cheap. We just signed another one through 2050.
Oh, so we're in good shape with that, okay. With that
It'll still
one,
be negative,
Oh, my.
Strike that, Kurt.
but the new one with me, though, we haven't signed anything with me yet, have we?
I don't know when that contract's up. I don't.
I think it's coming real quick.
I was thinking
I've
the same
never-
thing.
I can't remember what Ray's told me right off the top of my head, but I thought that was coming really quick. It's right around the corner. So we're definitely gonna have to look at that to see what we're gonna have to do, because we cannot, like Franny said, we can't absorb all this. So, we are gonna table the, discussion.
Do we wanna talk about? No, we probably don't wanna talk about anything next meeting on this.
No.
Except for maybe the demand rate. Are you
Yeah.
guys all okay with the ordinance saying that we should charge what we get charged for demand?
well, that's why I brought up the WAPA, what is the demand? We've got this for demand charge here, but 65% of it
Right.
is a different demand, you know, so what demand do we use? That's what we gotta figure out.
Check both.
Yeah, we'll bring that up at next council. So the rate increase from, NMPP, there ain't nothing we can do, that's in concrete, we're done there.
Yep.
So we're gonna move on to the public forum. JR? Okay,
You already heard my spiel.
Susie? Jody?
We're all together.
Kathy? Lois?
I'm good.
Mary Linda?
Yep, I'm good.
I'm the lion team.
That's our story, we're sticking
I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Chris has the-
Oh, I'm sorry.
For the City League, and early, when is that again?
Oh, that's right, thank you.
That's Wednesday.
This coming, that's Sac County,
Okay, yeah.
that's
yeah.
Sac County.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to make it.
You go to?
This
Yeah.
northwest will go to Alpha.
Northwest will be
You and,
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Franny, you and Tammy?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Northwest is the 20th, that's a Thursday. That's an Alton.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that her birthday or something?
You guys see these 2 letters that we got from INS? We got a grant
Yes.
for, we got a grant for a recycle trailer, and for concrete at the pool. So, those are 2 good.
Thank you, Ian.
Yes.
They're in the same building we are.
Oh, it's Lakeview, but.
I jammed them once in a while pretty hard.
Oh, yeah?
We'll be down for one to early. And,
Early's when?
Wednesday.
this Wednesday.
Well,
This Wednesday. Yeah, we'll be down
Oh,
for
nothing.
Northwest, because I'm there.
It's not like
The
it's-
city don't have to pay for that one.
I'm gonna go to early. And I can't go to that one, my son's got a basketball game that night, so.
I'm just trying to go down. Trying to see if we can get on.
Grand Delta?
No, I'm,
Okay, early, yes.
yes.
Okay. Curtis?
Oh, the early meeting, that's the one where the guy is talking about being able to get rid of the buildings in early.
Nuisance abatement.
Nuisance abatement, yeah.
Nuisance abatement, excellent.
Okay, Chris, anything else?
Uh-uh.
Thank you, sorry about that. I'll cut you short.
Move we adjourn.
I'll second that.
Moving second, we adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?